Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Gourmet Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Flying solo as of the moment. Of course, Ron Sample in the chat says minute late means Emilio's on tonight. He actually will be on tonight. You got it, Ron. Appreciate you swinging through, buddies. The chat is already on fire. Just want to say welcome into PTA. If this is your first time tuning in, thanks for making us a part of your evening. If you're looking for daily Packers content, this is the place for you. We go live daily. We do pregame shows, postgame shows, in-depth analysis, film breakdown, the whole 9 yards. So if you're looking for that type of content, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit like. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time we do go live. We've got an awesome show today. Obviously, there were some fireworks at training camp practice. Some of you guys jumped in here and hung out with me for a second as we went live earlier this afternoon. Fights break out at Packers Seahawks joint practice. We'll cover that. We'll give you injury updates. We'll give you Matthew Golden updates as he had another great day. The tight ends showed up today, both Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave. Luke Musgrave putting together a pretty good camp so far, and also Evan Williams flash. We'll have all those highlights for everybody. But again, if you would hit that like and hit subscribe for us real quick. Another comment here in the chat, 2-0 for this, says it's so weird seeing Jalen Ramsey in Pittsburgh and the Panthers are going for the local church pickup basketball game squad of two old white guys at wide receiver. Yeah, I think that was perfectly that's a perfect description there, 2-0 for this. As we've got football going on right now, obviously Pittsburgh game just kicked off a few minutes ago. We also got high school football going on over on ESPN Madison. I know when we wrap up here, I'm going to finish watching that game. Anybody who knows me, I'm a sucker for high school football. I just absolutely love Friday night lights, and in this case, Thursday night lights here as a full slate of games going to get kicked off tomorrow. We got all kinds of East Tennessee high school football ready to go. So I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. We got a herd in here already. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Let's jump into it. I thought this was a cool little clip here at practice today. Wes Heikowitz tweeted out Christian Watson. This dude looks like he's ready to go week one. Obviously, they're going to wait till at least week 5 coming out of the bye, or week 6, I should say. But, yeah, Christian looking healthy, guys. He out there on the scooter, hanging out with the kiddies before practice. Really, really excited to see him on the field sooner rather than later for sure. Another player that returned today, not that Christian Watson returned to practice. We know he didn't, but in a limited fashion, we had Xavier McKinney back at practice today. Matt Schneidman tweeted this out. Xavier McKinney is practicing for the first time in 2 weeks. You know, we mentioned a couple of days ago that he was carrying his helmet around, was doing some rehab with his helmet on the sideline. Today, you see him do individual drills. So Xavier McKinney, one step closer to getting back on the field for the Packers. I'm curious, since we're playing the starters on Saturday, do you guys think that McKinney will play Saturday? Probably a good chance to knock off the rust, although you don't want to tweak anything there coming off that injury there fresh. So I'm really, really interested to see what everybody thinks about that. Let me know in the chat. What do y'all think? Do you think Xavier McKinney should play on Saturday, or just, hey, let's go ahead and take advantage of these 3 weeks and get him fully healthy for the season? You see another clip here from Bill Huber. Man, the burst is there. He looks completely healthy. Don't like the fact that I think that's Bo Melton in the way there. Bo, get out of the way. Come on now. We don't need you banging knees there with our boy McKinney for sure. Dennis Shook in the chat says, don't play McKinney. I can get on board with that, Dennis. I can, man. Deadfish says, only if X is 100%. Yeah, you know, even then, kind of like Pivot says, save X for the regular season. If there's anybody on this Packers roster that doesn't need to knock off the rust, it's probably Xavier McKinney. That dude, he was an absolute dog last year for sure. Dan Lang in the chat, no hold until week 1. Got it, Dan. Appreciate you swinging through, buddy. Tony Holman, he's good for week 1. There you go. Everybody's saying rest him. So I think we're on the same page there. Tim joining us now from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tim, you were boots on the ground today. I see the sun on the forehead there, man. Was it brutal?
It was a hot one out there. As we've seen, right? The piss was hot too a little bit today at camp. But I'm with the chat here on McKinney for sure. Let's let's hold him out until week 1. Great point, Clayton. If there's a guy that you're not worried about getting rusty, it's Xavier McKinney for sure.
Yeah, he's going to be ready to go for sure. 2-0 for this. Says Tim went to the Redneck Brawl today. There you go. So Redneck Brawl moving in. Hey, I seen a clip, Tim. Another clip came across the wire. I think it was yesterday from the Redneck Brawl socials. And they're in West Virginia now, baby. They're just moving right through Redneckville, USA, making all the stops. They swung down here into East Tennessee, a couple different stops, and now they're on to West Virginia. So
love it.
But again, Xavier McKinney looking good, looking like he's going to be ready to go week 1. Really excited about that. Let's talk about some of these other injuries here real quick, as Wes Heikowitz gave us the usual rundown. He says, welcome to Packers training camp number 18. Jordan Love doing his usual warm-up while Xavier McKinney with the calf performed individuals with safeties today. New injury, linebacker Jared Bartlett. Oh, Jared, probably not. That's one of those, can't make the club in the tub. You miss any time whatsoever. I can't imagine he's going to be on the practice squad, Tim. I don't know how you feel about Jared Bartlett. Not that it matters too much, but we're already kind of deep in terms of stack back or practice squad spots, right? You're probably going to have.
We got to save room for Christian Welch, right? And
who's the other guy I'm trying to think of too? There's another one that's like a slam dunk, I think, for the practice squad. Let's take a quick look here. Isaiah Simmons, Isaiah McDuffie, Tyron Hopper, Christian Welch. Who was the other one I was thinking of? Colin Oliver's going to probably start on pup. I think the other one probably Jamin Johnson. Kind of felt like. What do you think, Tim? Do you think we'll just have one practice squad backer there in Christian Welch, or do you think there's a chance they try to just say, you know what, Isaiah Simmons go to the practice squad and you only carry 4? What do you think?
We talked about that, right? What are your? I'm curious to think your thoughts, because I'd like to see Christian Welch there. But the real question is, what are their plans with Isaiah Simmons?
Yeah, he
kind of you can put him on the practice squad. He's probably not going to be poached.
Yeah, surely he wouldn't, right? I don't think anybody's like, clamoring at the thought of putting him on the 53, but I don't think that way with Christian Welch either. The fact that he was available once again, that's tough, man. I really don't like the idea of only carrying 4 stack backers. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of feel like you need that 5th. That's a physical position. Listen, I understand there's only 2 on the field most of the time, but still, man, you're going to get banged up.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to carry 6 there. If I'm carrying 6, if I'm carrying 5, if I'm carrying 5, my 5 would be Walker, Cooper, McDuffie, Hopper, obviously. And then I'm probably going to go with Christian Welch over Isaiah Simmons. And I know that's probably going to catch some hate in the chat, but I just feel like Christian Welch plays stack backer better than Isaiah Simmons, believe it or not.
I agree.
Now, Isaiah Simmons may be a better special teams player, but Christian Welch has got some value there too. But I don't see any scenario where Jared Bartlett or Jamin Johnson makes the 53. That's for sure.
I agree. 100%.
There you go.
With all Isaiah Simmons, it almost feels like, Tariq Carpenter all over again. A guy that kind of looks like a safety trying to play linebacker or vice versa, and it just never quite worked out, right?
Yeah, and you see that more often than not. If someone is considered 2 different positions, they're not one of those positions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like the old Bill Parcells quote where he said, if you got 2 starting quarterbacks, you don't have a starting quarterback.
Exactly.
Type thing. So, all right, did not participate. This is according to Wes Heikowitz. I'm going to mention Savion Williams here in a second. Guard Aaron Banks with the back. Offensive line Jacob Monk with the hammy. He's got wide receiver Savion Williams listed with the hamstring. Did not participate. Running back Marshawn Lloyd hamstring. Defensive lineman Baron Sorrell with the knee. Safety Omar Brown and safety Zane Johnson. Omar Brown with the chest. Obviously Zane Anderson with the knee. Wide receivers Jaden Reed and Dontavion Wicks. Reed has the foot. Wicks has the calf. And then cornerback Nate Hobbs with the knee. Bouncing back up to Savion Williams. I heard other people reporting that Savion Williams was practicing, or maybe they just left him off the list. You have any confirmation there by any chance, Tim? I know you spent the majority of your time on the defensive side down there, but did you notice Savion Williams out there actually practicing? Or
not practicing, but rehabbing, rehab group. I got to look at the guys over, riding the bikes and stuff on the sideline, doing a lot of red line jogging and running kind of stuff. So maybe that's what they saw. They saw him on the field, just assumed he's practicing, but I didn't see him practicing with my own eyes. I did see him rehabbing. Marshawn Lloyd looked pretty good on that bike. So hopefully he's working through that hammy issue for sure.
Gotcha. So Ron Samble in the chat says Savion went right back in after one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Makes sense.
I was really hoping we'd see him this week, but it don't feel like it, does it, Tim?
Mhm.
Never feel like you're going to see him.
No, but that's another one too, right? We need to get him reps, but you also don't want to, damage something that's already kind of damaged right now. Let him get through this, and we'll work him into that lineup at some point, I think.
Yeah. And on the pup list, of course, you got Christian Watson, Colin Oliver, and John Williams. I heard today from Wildy, I didn't know this, but he had back surgery in the offseason, maybe right after the draft or maybe before the draft. I can't remember. So remember
Williams? You're saying Williams did?
Yeah, John Williams. Okay. Yeah, I remember back then we were like, where's he at? Is he holding out? Is he, what's going on? So evidently he had back surgery. So
wow,
that's what that ended up being there. So
well, then I guess him being on PUP is a good sign then if he's coming off that back surgery and he's not already, on IR. They haven't.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a great point for sure. R.E. Iron Miner in the chat says, hope Christian Watson coming back after the break. You heard Goody, like everything we've seen of Christian Watson so far, Tim, it feels like he's chomping at the bit. He'd probably play week 1 if they let him,
Mm-hmm.
But you heard Goody, so you immediately think, okay, probably, after the first 4 weeks, bring him off IR, open the practice window. And Goody said it may take longer, but he said, I have a feeling, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but he said something along the lines of, I have a feeling we're going to be fighting with him to try to keep him off the field. So Christian Watson going to want to get out there as soon as he can. So I'm really excited about that. Anything else you want to hit on the injuries here? I feel like we pretty much covered. Is there anything I missed there or maybe something you want to add to it?
Still looking for updates on Omar Brown. He's back, right?
Ooh, I don't know. Last I heard he was still in the hospital, but that was yesterday. I'll do a quick search there. You haven't heard anything so far, Tim?
I haven't, and I was, I didn't see him standing out there or anything. But again, it's really hard to kind of try to follow everything when you've got, 2 teams, 2 staffs. There's a bunch of people out there. It's kind of tough to keep track. And obviously, huge crowd out there today at Ray Nitschke Field. That was great, man. The Packer faithful definitely turned out in droves for this last practice. So getting a spot by the fence was tricky at times today. Had to keep moving and working my way up to the fence like a little rascal to get some of these looks. But I didn't see Omar Brown, even out there just standing around or anything. So hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, the earliest or the latest mention of him on X, to the best of my knowledge, you're just doing a quick little search, is it was all the way back on the 19th or the 20th. So yesterday, probably early yesterday, they were saying he was still in the hospital, sound like. So,
okay.
Obviously continue to pray for that guy, man. That's a tough injury. And, man, what a tough human being to go out there and continue to play through that. That's absolutely wild, man. Yeah. All right, let's shift gears, Tim. Let's jump over to the offensive side of the ball. As obviously we had the Seattle Seahawks in town for the joint practice. And, boy, oh, boy, I know you guys are probably not getting tired of hearing it, but still pretty awesome that Matthew Golden's still in the show again. So, as I mentioned on the afternoon stream, Tim, he looked really good in OTAs. Jordan Love was bragging on him, saying he looks polished. You guys remember that was the first comments we heard about him. And you go, okay, well, it's just OTAs. And then all of a sudden you get pretty deep into training camp, and it's Matthew Golden's looking good in camp. Well, it's just training camp. He goes out in his first preseason game. I think he ran like 7 or 8 routes, caught a slant. Like, man, looked like it wasn't too big for him. He looked pretty good. That coupled with the coaches sitting him in preseason week 2 because they were sitting the starters tells you everything you need to know. He's considered a 1. He goes out against the Indian joint practice, plays great out there, was dominant underneath, was absolutely torching, their DBs. And then lo and behold today, man, here we go. Matthew Golden, goodbye. This is at Alec_332 on X. Everybody make sure you go give him a follow. As you can see here, listen to the crowd. Tim, this kid, man, I'm telling you, dude. And the thing that I love about it, first of all, the release package. We've seen him release inside. We've seen him release outside here, a little stutter jab out. Use the hands, clear it. Right here is what I loved. I talked about this earlier today. The DB, as soon as the DB extends his arm and tries to hook his arm, Golden knows it's fair game then. The official's probably not going to throw offensive pass interference. If the DB engages and you engage back, they usually let them fight through that, right? So watch, grab, get off me, a little separation, hits the afterburners. I'm out here looking for those people that were saying, I know he ran a 4.240, but he doesn't look that fast on the field. He's running away from everyone on the football field, man.
You're right about the release too. I mean, I know we're watching this on loop, but when you watch him, off the snap here, it's like the right foot and left foot stay where they were lined up at first, and then the move happens so fast and so sudden. By the time the DB right here gets a hand on him inside 5 yards, he's already smoked. He's already cooked up the seam. So I think, like you said, Clay, nobody should kid themselves anymore. This is a starting wide receiver. Matthew Golden, clearly the real deal. And hopefully we get to see a little bit of him on Saturday with the ones for sure.
Here's another angle of that same 9 route that he ran there with the tight coverage.
Oh, perfect. I was wondering who threw the ball, because that was a pretty ball too. So Malik Willis, nice throw.
And this is our buddy Basarski over at Basarski Productions. Another angle. Golden just makes everything look so easy. What a dime by Willis. This was actually filmed by Chase.Nits on IG. Okay, so we want to make sure we give credit to him. But it's a better angle right here, too, to kind of see the release off the left. Bang. And there you really see the quickness. Look at the late hands, Tim. Last second, all right? I mean, he almost didn't even put them up. He just kind of kept them close to his body and just a little basket catch. And some people would see that and be like, man, get your hands up. Catch it with your hands. If he gets his hands up high there, the DB's reading him, and he's just going to swat the hands, right? Play the hands. As soon as they show their hands, play it. But I love how he doesn't even show his hands the entire time. It's
you can see he gets his head around. He look how long he's tracking the ball. That's how he can do that, right? You get that head around, you've already got the DB beat by 2 steps at least. You're tracking that ball. He knows where it's going. DB doesn't.
Yeah. J. Cole in the chat says, hot take. If Golden stays healthy, he will go over 1,000 yards. I don't think that's so hot of a take. If he plays in all 17 games, and he's doing what he's doing right now, 1,000. Listen, I mean, how many yards would that be on average a game, Tim? I mean, quick math.
You can't have me doing quick math live. There's
Let's
no
go
way.
17. Let's go 1,000 divided by 17. We're talking about 58 receiving yards on average per game. I think he can accomplish that. I do.
I agree.
And
I agree.
It's going to come down to how quick does if he comes out of the gate like he is here in training camp, how quick the teams go, okay, guys, we got to bracket a little bit there. You don't have 9 on the field. You don't have Watson on the field, so we can afford to bracket 22. That's going to open things up for Reed and Tucker Kraft and Romeo Dobbs, obviously, which Matt LaFleur had a comment earlier. I'm going to try to pull that up here in a minute, Tim, talking about Romeo. So don't let me forget that before we get off the offensive side of the ball here. So, but yeah, if they until they bracket him, he may have a good, 4 to 6 week span where teams go, all right, let's make sure he can beat us. Let's make sure he can beat us. And maybe you can get those numbers up there. Not that I care about stats anyway. All I care about is the win and the losses, obviously. But I understand what Jay's saying here too. Jay, I honestly don't think that's like a crazy hot take, based off what we've seen so far. So moving along, here's another route he ran. This one equally is nasty, Tim. And this, we've shown everything. We've shown him working the sidelines, working the out routes and everything. We've shown him working the slants, which he's deadly on the slants as well, the whip route, all that. Now let's see him kind of play underneath, work inside out, right, in a red zone drill from the 15-yard line. This one was sent out by Baz as well over at Basarski Productions. Good coverage, stronger hands. Matthew Golden is so great at using his hands/body to box out defenders. Let's watch the rookie work here. Press coverage, right? Jam, look, fight back in, little jab in, out, bang. Look at the hands, man. The hands are just what get me, Tim. Like if we go, let's go half speed here on the catch, right? Just work and work and work. This is a contested catch, ladies and gentlemen. Watch him go up and snag that ball.
And then keep it secured the whole way as he goes out of bounds without being able to get it to the body or to the chest. Just 2 hands on the football protecting it. It's something to see. You're right, man. He's got we talk about the fast feet and all of that, the quick twitch, but I mean, this guy's got absolute magnets for the football when it comes to the hand skills. You got to love it. And the hand fighting, like you said, using the hands to create a little bit of space from that DV and then boxing them out, baby, just like basketball.
Yeah, he's got excellent body control. That was all over the college tape. There's no two ways about that. So, again, man, he's showing underneath. He's showing, I mean, everything. Look at that Seattle coach just losing his mind back. You love to see it. That's the look you're looking for right there, guys. Look how pissed off he is. Right here. Somebody help me out. Screenshot it. Right? I need somebody to screenshot it and go, what are we going to put on there? Put WTF on it, okay? That's all you got to write. WTF with an arrow pointing at this coach, Matt. And we'll make sure we get that tweeted back out. Witherspoon over here going, hey, don't worry, I got cooked all day too. So it's all good. So there you go. There's your little Matthew Golden update. Anything else you want to hit on with Matthew Golden there, Tim? I'm going to try to pull up what Matt said about Romeo Doubs, so we'll have it for the latter part of the show here.
Yeah, I guess I'll add one thing on Matthew Golden. 2025 Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Ooh.
Let's go. There's your hot take right there.
Should we put it on a ticker, Tim?
Put it on a ticker. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't
give a you know what the rest says. Let's see. Let me make sure I get this lined up in order when we talk Dobby. I want y'all to hear what Matt LaFleur had to say about Romeo earlier today. Really kind of put things into perspective. Is a coach speak? I guess it could be, Tim, but I don't know, man. It sounds like our boy Matt LaFleur is all about having Romeo Doubs on the roster. So let's move on to tight end for a second, and then we'll get into Romeo. So sound like the tight ends had a great day, and Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, man, because this training camp, has it not flown by? Like, it's just been crazy how quick it's gone by.
It has. It really has.
Do you feel like Luke Musgrave has had a good camp, or is it just me?
I feel like he's had a better camp than he had last year.
I agree. I was trying to think okay, am I just kind of caught in the moment? Let me think back. What were some of the negative marks on Musgrave? There might have been a couple early in camp, but man, it seems like he's been pretty lights out since then. This is Tucker Kraft. This is Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft in 7-on-7s. Let's take a look at this as Sleeper Packers actually posted this one over on X. Make sure you go give them a follow. And let's watch this play here to Tucker Kraft. He's going to be working off the other side. So we're nub left on this look. Okay, so he's tied in on the left side and over the back of the end zone, butt naked through the trailer park. You notice there's a defender lane over there too. It looked like he might have cooked somebody on that little post route or whatever it was. Maybe it was a dig or a kind of a choice route. But you'll notice at the end here, there is a DB laying over there.
Oh, yeah.
The guy was supposed to be covering him. So Tucker Kraft looking good out here today against the Seahawks too, man.
I mean, he's a freak. You got someone that big and strong running routes like a wideout, that can be a little intimidating for a corner, I would think, especially in a 7-on-7 scenario. So maybe he slipped on purpose so he didn't get run over by the freight train coming at him. I don't know.
Could have been, man. So here's another tweet. I won't pull it up. I'll just read it. But it says, Wes Hodkiewicz, Luke Musgrave has been unreal today. So sounds like Luke Musgrave had a great day. And then Baz has a clip here for us of Musgrave making a catch. Let's see if we can get this one up here. Yeah, Baz said this also came from chase.nits on IG. And let's see if we could pick up Musgrave making a nice grab here. I'm trying to see if he's attached. Yeah, he was attached. A little chip, leak out. Now he's going to – little scramble drill. Look at my man. Oh, nice. That's a beautiful grab right there, man. Let's bring it back to the catch real quick. Watch, guys. It's kind of off the mark. That's a great hands catch back across his body. And by the way, I say off the mark, but watch Malik Willis throwing on the run here, changing the arm angle. Malik Willis had a hell of a camp too, man. Holy cow.
He's so good at that throwing on the run like that. And Musgrave, you're right. I mean, is it just me or does Musgrave look like he put on some muscle? He looks a little bigger than he did last year. He doesn't look like the baby reindeer anymore. And sometimes you look at Tucker Kraft, you see Ben Sims, Fitzpatrick, Musgrave. At a glance, if these guys like very similar builds, we've got some big boy tight ends, and if Musgrave has a great season this year, we're gonna be a force to be reckoned with between him and Tuck Norris there as our tight ends, and then we talked about the camp that Fitzpatrick's had so far too. So this is a good time of year to start get the wheels turning, right?
Yeah, and this is a contested catch too, Tim. Look at this, man. He got a hand on his chest and then swatting back at it. Like notice his feet too when he lands. Look how nimble. He
Musgrave stayed on his feet.
Yeah, I mean that. And seriously, look at his feet coming down, square up, bounce back out, get some yak, cover the ball up.
Yep,
that's a good rep there, man. Good rep. And that's 11 on 11, obviously. So,
yeah. And like you said, scramble drill, right? Find your quarterback. Get back to the football. Give him a target.
Yeah. Absolutely.
See him work across the field like that. Look at him, back cut on the DB. That's beautiful.
And with the way the receiver room is a little beat up right now, Tim, probably going to have to press into 12 in the first few weeks of the season, man. It's good to see Musgrave kind of peaking here for sure, man. As Coach Lynn says, in 12 personnel, Musgrave could be a problem. It's a great point because teams have got to choose. Like if you don't know what we mean by 12 personnel, if you're new here, I apologize. 12 is one running back, two tight ends, okay? That's what that means. So that means that one running back, two tight ends, obviously you only got two receivers. So typically a two wide receiver set, when they go to call in the defense from the sideline, they're going to call in a base defense against a 12 personnel, unless you've got a tight end who's just a Jimmy Graham type, or he's going to essentially play receiver. That's not necessarily the case with either Musgrave or Kraft. Obviously, you probably treat it like 12. So when you treat it like 12 personnel, you're going to trigger your 4-3 base or your 34 base. So now the problem becomes who is covering the tight ends. I think it was Wildy on his show while he was live at camp earlier today. He had mentioned that they came out in a 2x2 set out of 12 personnel. And if people are wondering, okay, what does that matter? A 2x2 set, meaning they had four wide receivers. Okay, so they were kind of in that balanced spread, what we call dub spread, right? And the two inside guys were tight ends. So now you got to decide: do you put backers out there? Do you leave an extra backer in the box and bring the safety down to cover him? And that's where the mismatch comes into play. And exactly what Coach Lynn's talking about there. Musgrave could be a problem. Could you imagine? A 6'2". Hell, most linebackers aren't that tall either. Let's imagine a 6 foot or a 6'1" linebacker trying to cover Luke Musgrave, who's 6'5", if I remember correctly.
Oh, we've seen it a couple times at camp, right? We've seen McDuffie running with Musgrave trying to cover. And you're right. I mean, that height and reach gives you a huge advantage for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, let's move it along here. Let's talk a little Romeo Doubs as he flashed a little bit today. Remember, I mentioned that defender earlier. Don't worry, you're going to get yours here in a little bit, right? Well, here he is. Witherspoon going to get a little taste of Romeo Doubs. This came in from Baz on X and Chase.Nits on IG. Let's watch this rep here. 87 on Witherspoon. Let's see if Romeo cooks him here. Golden eyes completely on Rome too, watching the rep. Oh my goodness gracious. We got another one.
I just caught the ball.
Tim, we got another one here, man. Let me back it up. If you guys would screen grab that for me, draw me an arrow. I need an arrow right here. That's the look we're looking for. Go ahead and get your screen grab. That's Tim. Romeo
footwork. Look at the footwork on this route.
Yeah, seriously. He absolutely demolishes this corner. Look.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know
you see how he flattens to keep both toes in? Watch at the end here. Little spin. Look, boop.
Oh, yeah.
Both feet together inbounds. I love it.
Complete body control, man. Complete body control.
He looks better. He looks better than even last year. So you can tell these guys have put in the work during the offseason for sure. Yeah.
And again, that poor DB, even if he doesn't slip, Rome's catching that ball. Sorry.
Yep.
He's already got him cooked right there. So great route and a great catch. Now, Tim, if you'll get me a screen grab ready of Matt LaFleur, give me a lung dart Matt LaFleur, a Tupac LaFleur, if you will. This was on Kay Adams' show earlier today as she was live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. A lot of people were saying that's why the fight broke out. Everybody was trying to impress Sister Kay Adams out there. I don't know. But this was Matt LaFleur and Kay Adams talking about Romeo Doubs. And I believe – well, I'll just let the video play here. Obviously, it's about whether Romeo Doubs is going to be a Packer or not. Let's see what head coach Matt LaFleur had to say about it.
It's a tough week because you have to make cuts, right? I'm looking at that wide receiver room. It's great. You have so much depth. What will it come down to?
Well, we don't have a lot of depth right now. We're missing a lot of guys. So, it's going to come down to these guys' ability to go in there and make plays for us. And, there's been a lot of tape. We've had a lot of a lot of practices now. Looking forward to the third preseason game to put these guys in those types of situations to see how they respond.
What does Romeo Dobbs have to do to not have rumors about him being cut from this team?
Rome's not. I'd be very shocked if he ever was going anywhere.
There's words about that.
No,
There's no.
That will not happen.
Can you sort of explain why so confidently?
Because Rome is out there competing and doing everything that we need to see from him. And obviously he's played a lot of ball for us and at a high level. And he's been a great teammate, and he goes out there and you can count on him every day.
One more time.
No.
That will not happen.
Can you sort of explain why so confidently? Because this team.
Rome's not. I'd be very shocked if he ever was going anywhere.
There's words about that.
No,
There's no.
That will not happen.
And that's pretty clear, Tim.
Tell him, Tupac.
He said
Let him
that.
know.
He said
Who
that
started
will not
that
happen.
rumor?
He said that will not happen. Yeah, when I seen the cut rumor, I'm going, what?
What the
Ooh.
hell?
Yeah,
I mean, I get trade rumor, right?
Yeah,
Possible.
right.
We've talked about possible trade, but an outright cut, you've got to be insane. There's no way.
And this right here, he's not going anywhere. That tells me that maybe we know they explored trades with him in the offseason, right? Specifically Seattle. Seattle's the only one I feel comfortable saying that sounds like that was legit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the thought of just cutting him, arguably your best receiver, especially your best outside receiver, before Matthew Golden gets an opportunity to prove his worth, right?
Certainly, right now, to Matt's point, while we're banged up, right? I mean, you can't get rid of a guy like Rome. There's just,
and we've talked about all offseason. It seems like he's in a good place, right? Like he seems like he's in a better place than he's been since he's been here. He's awkward at times. We know he's socially I relate to it, man. I get around a crowd of people and I'm like, I just want to tuck up into a ball in the corner somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I mean, this one, again, watch your ears. It's a little loud. It's part of our outro, but stuff like this all offseason. He just seems like he's having fun. He seems like he wants to be in Green Bay, right? And maybe the trade, him finding out that they did try to shop him to Seattle in the offseason, maybe that's what it takes to him to kind of shake it loose a little bit. Like, all right, you know what? I need to really embrace this opportunity while I got it.
Absolutely. And, like when we talk about some of the ups and downs last year and things, you never know what somebody's got going on in their personal life. These guys are pro athletes and they have to be professional when they step out on that field, but they're human beings too. So that's not an excuse, but obviously, yeah, compared to this time last year, I feel like, Rome is in a much better place. He's not as quiet as you think. Like I said, when he's on that field, he's a pretty talkative guy on the football field. You love to see it.
Yeah, we got us a new sound bite here. Read what Coach Lynn said. I'm gonna write this down.
That's our new sound bite for Matt LaFleur. That will not happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Do that, you're going to get your ass kicked. And then
very well said, Coach. We'll get that one in the hopper for you there, Coach. Appreciate the recommendation there. So up next here, Baz put another one out. Malik Willis has been cooking the Seattle defense so far today. Let's watch this clip here of Malik Willis in 11 on 11. Let's see. We'll kind of give you a little play-by-play, a little motion there from Dobby. So Dobby lines up in the 2 on the left now. Looks like a dub set with the tight end right. Yep, he's going to chip come out. Malik looking comfortable in the pocket. A little hole shot there. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Look at a little busted coverage.
Yeah.
But again, that was Romeo, wasn't it? Was it not?
I think so, right? And then Malik floats it in between the corner and the safety.
Yeah, so you see Rome motioned over to the 2. And I think, is that an empty? No, we still got a back there. I was seeing this single-digit number and thought that might be Jacobs out there, but we definitely got a back in the backfield. We're in a sidecar right. Okay, let's see if Romeo, yeah, so they're going to bounce out.
Another great route by Dobbs. Did you see that little stutter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So that was McCole Hardman that runs kind of a hybrid of a slant and a shallow post type route. And what they did was they had McCole in the 1 and they had Dobby in the 2, right inside. So McCole goes out, runs a post. Dobb runs a wheel route off the backside of it. So that's what that was, a wheel route. Let's take it back to the move you're talking about here, Tim. So again, watch Dobbs. Oh yeah, a little stutter.
Yeah.
Out and up type thing.
Oh, man. Look at that DB. Who is that? Was that Witherspoon again that got cooked?
I hope it was. Withering that spoon all day long. No doubt about it. No, but yeah, that was a nice little out and up, it looked like. very, very similar to a wheel route. You know, you get to the sideline and obviously you're breaking out toward the
Wait,
sideline.
that was someone else. I just saw Witherspoon's on Golden again here on the left side. So that's a different DB, right? That's
Right.
Witherspoon 21.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just going down the list of DBs on Seattle that we cooked today. Love it.
And the route on this side, you notice, is a wrap, what we call a wrap concept, okay? And what it is, the tight end's going to chip. He's going to come out, run a curl route. And with the reason it's called wrap is Matthew Golden, the one, is going to run a dig route right over top of it. So you wrap around the curl, and it kind of creates that I guess kind of a high-low read, if you will. Watch right here. You see the tight end sit, and Golden's wrapping.
Yep.
And then, of course, the coverage is busted on the opposite side. So great job, Malik Willis, finding the solution to that problem there for sure, man.
Yeah. And, you know, I like your comment about him being comfortable in the pocket because we know how mobile of a quarterback Malik Willis is. We know he can throw on the run. You know, we know he gives us an advantage, especially with the, you know, RPO and RPR kind of options in this offense. But to see him stand comfortably in the pocket and just pick apart a defense, that really makes you feel good about your QB2 for sure.
What's crazy is he could have hit McCole Hardman on that crosser, that climb or whatever it is right there too.
Yep.
So, yeah. And that's freaking beautiful right there. Great.
Love to see it.
Great concept. And again, these are the things that you're able to do in joint practices that you can't do in a preseason because you don't want to show too much. You know,
Exactly.
It's much harder for teams to study this tape when it's filmed from a fan on the sideline as opposed to the eye in the sky on all 22. And by the way, I just want to mention Christian Watson looking like a grown ass man right here. He looked like Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Look at that dude right there.
I know, man. It's he's getting braided up before the game, probably.
No doubt.
Oh yeah.
I kind of like that swag right there, Amelia. We need that Madden. We need that hair hanging out. You know?
Imagine that's the lettuce. That's the lettuce. That's your Kentucky waterfall, Clay, right there.
Well, there was some Kentucky. Let me tell you, there was a flash flood warning at the Redneck Brawl. There
There was
balls everywhere.
There was one dude had it down to like his lower back. I'm telling you, and he just had the sides just razor short. Just
Yeah, it was bad. Emilio, did you hear what Matt LaFleur had to say about Romeo Dobbs there just a second ago?
I missed that part. Just you can run it by me real quick.
He with Kay Adams, he said that's not. He said that will not happen.
Him getting cut out, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Romeo. Well, he just said they didn't even. She mentioned cut, but he said he's not going anywhere. That will not happen. I took that as
Cut, trade, none of that's happening. Yeah.
I like that.
Now, you never say never, but never. If a team came calling and said, you want a first round pick for Romeo, Matt's going to go, I ain't say nothing. Probably.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? That's how that works. But yeah, I think he's really, really high on Romeo Dobbs. And somebody had mentioned last night in the comments, and I think I commented pretty late. It was like 1 a.m. when I responded to that comment. Hopefully I didn't say anything inappropriate, half asleep, but they had said something along the lines of, what was it? He said, maybe wait till closer to the trade deadline and reevaluate it. That makes sense because if Christian Watson comes back from injury, right, and everything's kind of cranked up and you can afford to part ways, maybe it makes sense in that regard. But, man, I'd be totally on board with them just keeping him as well because, we talked about Bill Walsh 101, the last piece you put in place is wide receiver, right? Well, what do? We spent a first-round pick on wide receiver for the first time in, a couple of decades, whatever the amount of time was, 22 years or what have you. So when you go and you get that final piece and you're like, okay, you feel like the Super Bowl window's open, we're going to go get a wide receiver, kind of doesn't make sense to get rid of what some people would believe is your already number one receiver. You know what I mean? You kind of taking a step forward, then 2 steps back there. So
He's the
we'll
one
see
right now,
Yep. All right. Little McManus update from Kicking Today. It's funny, when he's not perfect, I'm like, is something wrong? Because we've gotten so used to him hitting everything. But Brandon McManus goes only 3 for 5 on field goals, hits the left upright from 49 left hash, short from 55 right hash. McManus good from 38 middle, 45 right, 54 right. McManus now 70 of 76 since the start of camp.
We'll take that money all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And guys, it was windy today too. Again, not making excuses, but like I've said before, when McManus does miss, it's not by a lot. You see his miss is hitting an upright. and then a little short from 55 yards.
Right.
Nothing to worry about at all with Brandon.
Because I was
still lights out.
listening to that unscripted, and what it was either Wes or Mike. I'm pretty sure they said that it was at the Colts training camp where he after practice went and hit a 70. Yeah, hit the crossbar and bounced in. So I mean, he's got
so
the leg.
55 into the wind and he's short. It might make a little sense, right?
But good practice, right, Tim? You love getting something that, you know, Nate, you can't just throw a couple fans out there and move the ball around. I mean, you need nature to do that. So I'm glad that he did. I'm glad you give him 5 reps on a windy day like that.
That's why I like they wheel out the goalposts. You know, you got the uprights. They can just put that wherever they want you and, you know, kick with the wind or against the wind. But yeah, we feel good about our kicker, right, guys? I mean, 70 or 76, let's go.
I might have to try to find a couple of those moving goalposts on Amazon, put in the front yard. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Yeah, out there, get a couple daddy sodas in, you get brave and go pull a butt cheek in the front.
I was just going to say, pop that hip out of alignment real quick. There you go.
It wouldn't take much for me right now. I'm just telling you, man.
They're going to start training McManus by actually moving the goalposts. He'll be like, all right, I'm going to kick it. They're just going to start cranking that thing or moving it.
I was waiting for someone to give me the actual number here. Hardhead72 said 92% will take that all year. So it's 92% field goal percentage or hit rate, I guess you could say, altogether in camp. Tippy cap to the field judge there. You know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, that video that the Packers finally put out was absolutely.
Yeah. I don't need a whistle. Too much power. That broke me up.
Exactly. We got Aaron in the chat says, "Hey, Clayton Domofsky."
Man, that was too funny, dude.
Bro. So somebody had put, if you guys didn't know, Keyshawn Nixon, I got to find that clip because that is hilarious, right? He makes a bald joke and then said something about Domofsky, like, well, you're old. I'll find the clip. I don't want to butcher it. But what Aaron's referring to here is somebody had photoshopped hair on Domofsky. And then Aaron did a side-by-side of me and Domofsky, and I am embarrassed to admit it. I responded with Dad. It was pretty hideous, I got to admit. So, with
you do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.